Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land of which his father sojourned, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. And Joseph was 10 and 7 years old, tending the sheep of his father with his brothers, being young among the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, the wives of his father. And they brought against Joseph a bad fault to Israel their father. But Jacob loved Joseph beyond all his sons, for he was to him the son of old age, and he made for him a colored garment. And his brothers, seeing that the father was fond of him from out of all of his sons, they detested him, and were not able to speak to him, not one thing peaceable. And Joseph, dreaming a dream, reported it to his brothers. And he said to them, "Hear this dream which I dreamed. I imagined you all were binding sheaves in the midst in the plain, and my sheaf rose up, and it was straight up, and your sheaves, moving around, did obeisance to my sheaf." And his brother said to him, "Do you mean in reigning you will reign over us? Or in dominating you will dominate us?" And they added still to detest him because of his dreams and because of his words. And he saw another dream and described it to his father and to his brothers. And he said, "Behold, I dreamed another dream, as if the sun and the moon and 11 stars did obeisance to me." And his father approached him and said to him, "What is this dream which you dreamed? Is it so indeed, in having come, I will come also, and your mother and your brothers, to do obeisance to you upon the ground?" And his brothers envied him. But his father kept the saying. And his brothers went to graze the sheep of their father in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "Did not your brothers tend in Shechem? Come, I will send you to them." And he said to him, "Behold, I am ready." And Israel said to him, "In going, see if your brothers are in health, and the sheep, and announce it to me." And he sent him from out of the valley of Hebron, and he came into Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the plain. And the man asked him, saying, "What do you seek?" And he said, "I seek my brothers. Report to me where they graze." And the man said to him, "They have departed from here, for I heard them saying, 'Let us go unto Dothan.'" And Joseph went after his brothers, and found them in Dothan. And they spied him far off before his approaching to them, and they acted wickedly to kill him, and said each to his brother, "Behold, that dreamer comes. Now then, come, we should kill him, and toss him into one of the wells, and we shall say, 'A ferocious wild beast devoured him,' and we shall see what will be of his dreams." And Reuben, hearing, rescued him from out of their hands, And he said, "Do not strike him as far as his life." And Reuben said to them, "You should not shed blood, but put him into one of these wells in the wilderness, and bear not a hand against him, that he might rescue him from out of their hands, and that he might give him to his father." And it came to pass, when Joseph came to his brothers, they took the colored garment off Joseph, the one around him, and taking him, they tossed him into the well. But the well was empty. It did not have water. And they sat to eat bread. And looking up with the eyes, they saw, and behold, journeying Ishmaelites were coming from out of Gilead, and their camels full of incenses and balm and balsam. And they were going, leading down into Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What profit if we should kill our brother, and we should hide his blood? Come, let us give him to these Ishmaelites. And the hands of ours, let them not be upon him, for he is our brother, and he is our flesh." And his brothers hearkened. And the men came near, the Midianite merchants, and they drew out and hauled Joseph from out of the well. And the Ishmaelites rendered for Joseph 20 pieces of gold. And they led Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned upon the well, and did not see Joseph in the well. And he tore his clothes, and he turned towards his brothers and said, "The boy is not, and I, where shall I go yet?" And taking the garment of Joseph, they slew a kid of the goats, and tainted the garment in the blood. And they sent the colored garment, and carried it to their father, and said, "This we found. Do you recognize if the garment is of your son or not?" And he recognized it and said, "It is the garment of my son. A ferocious wild beast devoured him. A wild beast seized Joseph." And Jacob tore his clothes, and placed sackcloth upon his loin, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and daughters came together, and they came to comfort him, and he wanted not to be comforted, saying that, "I will go down to my son in mourning into Hades." And his father wept for him. And the Midianites gave Joseph into Egypt to Potiphar, the castrato of Pharaoh, the chief guard.